Welcome to the Amazon Meetup group, Raleigh Amazon Meetup group. And I'm Bill Dobbenmeyer, and I don't know what else to say.
That was good.
Well,
You are doing great.
So tonight we're doing a print on demand, and we are lucky enough to have Helen Kinson visiting us, and her company is called Merch Money. And without further ado, I will let you take over and tell us where you're from and a little bit of
Great.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Bill. I got to meet Bill at Ecom Chicago, and I let him know that I only live about four or 5 hours away. So I was going to try to go to one of these meetups, and we had it planned, and then had a 9 a.m. meeting with the USPTO, and I'm like, darn it. So anyway, thank you so much for letting me do this remotely. But I think it's so great that you guys meet once a month. You really can't beat that. When you get to meet people one-on-one, it's such a great way to learn, such a great way to connect and build relationships. So you guys really are doing the right thing, all meeting together. So how many of you guys have ever heard of print on demand?
I've heard of it.
Yay.
Yeah, everybody's heard of it. Okay, so that's good. Are any of you doing it right now?
Yes.
Yes, we got a couple people. Okay, perfect.
Not on a big scale, but I am doing it.
Perfect. Well, let me go ahead and see if this slideshow will work. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I know that. Sorry, we got people trickling in, like we said.
Oh, that's okay. So I used to do Amazon FBA. How many people in the room are doing FBA right now?
Yay.
Almost everybody? Okay. So I started in 2014 doing that. I had a lot of fun. The first year I totally underestimated how much work it was. So I would, go to a store, get one cart, come home, pack it up. It's very, wondered why I wasn't a millionaire and I was buying like one cart and that's it. So anyway, eventually I learned better how to do FBA. I got an accountability partner. If you guys, since you are meeting in person, I really recommend getting an accountability partner. I met Jonathan Cleater. I don't know if any of you know him, but he was my accountability partner, and his business does over $1 million a year. So that really helped me learn like what it actually took to do Amazon FBA. So I did that. I heard about merch in 2015, right when it came out, but I did not take advantage of it. I was so busy getting shipments ready to go. It came out in September, and that's like the busiest time for FBA because you're getting ready for fourth quarter and all of that. So I heard about it, signed up, and then that's it. So my account just sat there for a year. And then finally in November of 2016, I uploaded a design. So I started very slow, and I highly recommend that for everybody, actually. Just start slow. Just open an account, upload a design. I didn't think that I could design. I didn't know if I would be able to. I didn't have any graphic design experience, nothing like that. So I ended up just buying designs. That's how I got started. So all my first designs for the first year, I would just buy 25 designs a month and upload those. That's all I did for the first year. Finally, in April of 2018, I had started to build up my account just from doing that, just uploading 25 designs a month. I had started to make more income from it and build up the account. The way Merch by Amazon works is they do tier levels. So when you first open an account, you can only upload 25 designs. Actually, now it's only 10. When I started, it was 25, but you can only upload 10 designs. You have to wait until you've sold your first 10, and then they tier you up, we call it, where you're allowed to upload 25 designs, and then it just keeps going from there. So now I'm up to where I can upload 10,000 designs. But in April, by the time it was April 2018, I really was enjoying merch more than FBA. By that time, I had been doing FBA for 4 years, and I was just I don't know. I still liked it, but it was just a lot of work packing all the boxes because I didn't have employees or anybody. It was just me doing it. I did some online arbitrage and I had a prep center do some of it for me. But I really, once the merch account was growing, I was liking it more and more because it was just uploading files. There was no boxes to pack or anything like that. So in April, I decided to start Merch Money. And it was just a Facebook group and a YouTube channel. And I started it with 4 other ladies. So that was a funny story by itself. Let me see if I have a screen about that. No, I don't have a screen about it. But anyway, I didn't know that many people when I started Merch Money. So I just reached out to people that I thought were doing well on merch and asked them if they wanted to do a YouTube channel with me. And I assumed they would all say no because nobody knew who I was. But for some reason, they all said yes. So that's why we started with 5 people. I was trying to get just one person to do it with me and everybody said yes. So anyway, we started with 5 people. Now it's just down to 2 because it is a lot of work we do a show twice a week and it's a lot of work with the Facebook group and everything. So right now we have 2 people, which is perfect. So anyway, with print on demand, you upload a design and then you can sell it on all kinds of different products. So t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, coffee, all kinds of stuff. There's like hundreds of products you can sell designs on. And there's also lots and lots of platforms. So these are the ones these are the platforms I have right now. Merch by Amazon is the biggest one. KDP is also an Amazon platform. It's Kindle Direct Publishing. So with that one, you can do journals or just low content books. It's just basically you put the design on the cover and then the interior can be lined notebooks or just coloring books, things like that. And then all these other platforms, Fine Art America, Etsy, Cafe Press, Teespring, all of these different ones. You can basically have one design and put it on all these different platforms, and then you can make money potentially from all of those different areas. These are additional platforms that are available that I haven't even gotten to yet. So I'm still growing. It's unlimited what you can do with print on demand. So I haven't even covered I still have a long way to go myself with growing. Today, I'm mostly just going to focus on Merch by Amazon because I feel like that's the easiest one to get started with. But once you start there, the sky's the limit of where you can expand. But Merch by Amazon, you do have to apply. So even if you're thinking you're probably not going to do this, I would still recommend trying to get an account just to see, just so that you have it in case you ever need it in the future. That's what I did. I just applied, I got the account, and then I didn't upload anything for a year. This is just some of the opportunity that comes with print on demand. It doesn't cost anything. So sometimes with FBA or with eBay, you might have a day where you find a lot of stuff and you basically use up all your money. So you buy all this inventory when it's on sale, or if you come across a good yard sale or whatever wherever you're getting your inventory, you might get too much and then there's nothing you can really do after that until you sell some. But with merch, there's no stopping. Like you can just keep making designs. It doesn't cost anything to make the design. And then it's also royalty income, which is a little different. Like when Bill, this is the same presentation I did with Bill at Ecom Chicago, and we were all there at the conference, and I could still be selling things while we were there, and I didn't have to worry about getting home in time to ship it out or getting home to like quickly go restock my inventory that had sold while I was gone. There's nothing you have to do. Like once the shirt's listed, it's listed, and then you can just make money however long it keeps selling. Organic traffic. So Merch by Amazon has Amazon's traffic. So you don't really need to do a lot of marketing or advertising. You can if you want to, but it's not necessary. Just the keywords that you put in your listing is enough to get traffic. Also, Amazon's growing. You guys see that too. I mean, Amazon grows every year. It's crazy. And merch is still fairly new. It's newer than FBA or newer than a lot of the other platforms on Amazon. and you can work when you want to, and it's unlimited potential. So we kind of talked about this, but there's no upfront fees. There's also no listing fees. There's no monthly, like for Seller Central, there's that monthly fee, $39.99 or whatever it is. There's no fees like that with merch. There's no monthly fees. There's no any kind of fee. The only fee there is once you sell something, they take a percentage of it. So there's like a base fee for the cost of the item, and then there's a little bit of percentage that they keep. But you can set your own prices, and it's very easy when you list it to see how much you'll make. There's no inventory, so you don't have to worry about like somebody returning something and then you're stuck with this like opened product. It's just your design file, which you can then upload somewhere else. So there's no actual like inventory that you're holding on to. So there's no cost to store inventory, nothing like that. There's lots of free programs for creating designs. So there's even a lot of apps. Like I use the Over app, and you can make designs right from your phone. But there's also GIMP and a lot of things that are either no cost or very low cost. And there's a lot of free training. So my Facebook group is called Merch Money. We do training in there. We have a YouTube channel, and there's lots of other merch Facebook groups and YouTube channels as well. Any questions so far? No? All right, I'll keep going. Don't worry, it's not too long. Royalty income, basically it just means that every single time that item sells, you make a percentage. So with FBA or eBay, like once you sell the product, it's gone, and then you have to get another product and list it. With this, it's like you can keep making money off the same shirt. And you don't have to worry about like scaling up. Like with FBA, when you try to scale up, it's hard because you have to either hire someone or you have to find a way to be able to somehow get more inventory to Amazon. With this, it's like, it's just files. Like there's not as much human labor involved. It's just a file, and then Merch prints it out and ships it. So Merch handles all of it. All you have to do is just upload the file. Largest online marketplace, Merch is Amazon in general is huge. Over 5 billion products shipped per year. These are probably already outdated. Amazon just keeps growing so fast. So, oops. Oh no, sorry. I don't know how to go back now. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I'm going forward or backwards. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is a Jeff Bezos quote. We can't be in survival mode. We have to be in growth mode. This is just sort of how he thinks. Like Amazon has grown so much just since 2014 when I first started with them. They just like every time I feel like they can't possibly grow more, they grow more. So it's just how he thinks. So when you're part of that environment, it's really great because you can grow with them. So Merch started in 2015, and print on demand had been around before that, but Merch came on the scene in 2015, and it has just continually grown since then. When they first launched, there was only 2 t-shirts. That's it. That's all we could make designs on. But they keep adding more products. And the great thing is every time they add more products, you can put all your same designs on all of those products. So it doesn't cost you any more time or money or anything. It just is more products available. So they added long sleeve shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, pop sockets. They added more platforms, so more countries, Germany and UK. And then tank tops, raglans, zip hoodies, all kinds of new products. The new uploader just means that you can upload to all of these products at once. So it just makes it fast, easy, and more potential for it to sell because it's just in more countries and on more products. And then I just went ahead and made a slide about unlimited potential, because it really is just unlimited. You can scale your business so much easier because it's so flexible. You don't have to be there to ship anything out. If a shirt hits, like say you catch a trend and you're right at the right time for the trend, and all of a sudden like it goes viral and a ton of people buy it, thousands of people buy it, merch can handle that influx. And then if the next day the trend dies and it goes down to selling only one or two, it's fine, because you didn't have to hire so many people. You didn't have to like have enough printers going or any of that. Merch handles the ups and the downs for you. So all you have to do is just upload designs, and you don't have to worry. Like there's no change in cost to you if you sell a lot or if you don't sell a lot. So the growth is just really unlimited. Amazon handles storing and printing shirts, fulfillment, customer service and returns, processing and sales tax, and they provide all the customers. So all we have to do is upload the PNG, write the description, and that's it.
Oh.
This is my Facebook group, YouTube channel, website. We also have Instagram. Now we have a podcast too, so that's something new, and Twitter. And that's really all I had. So I mostly just wanted to leave plenty of time to answer questions or just talk about anything you guys want to talk about.
Can I ask you to share some examples of the designs you've done? Or products?
See, I don't really have any prepared. I'm afraid to try to log on with like my password and everything right on here. But basically, I mean, if you guys type in anything and then t-shirt, you can see what's on there on merch and on Amazon. Anything you can think of. You could put St. Patrick's Day t-shirt or anything, and you can see all the shirts that are available. All of those. Sometimes people do sell t-shirts through Amazon FBA, so they buy the shirts, they have FBA fulfill it or themselves fulfill it. But most of the time, the shirts you're seeing on there are fulfilled by merch.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any tactics or strategies like how you source, like maybe crowdsource things that are trending so you can get ahead of the wave if something is happening? Like, do you have things that maybe aggregate like Twitter, like just different things that are trending on Twitter or phrases? Like, any ideas on that? Like how you can get ahead of a wave?
Yeah, great question. Some of the best ways are Twitter. Twitter is really fast, especially if it's something with politics. So especially, this year and in this environment, it's very polarized. So there's people that are very for Trump or very against Trump. So anything polarized like that is really good for t-shirts because people are very passionate about it. So Twitter, you'll see different things pop up. And then also another huge thing is TikTok. TikTok has been growing faster than any of the other social media platforms. And so you can see trends on that from younger generations. So you can see what they're interested in. So something like "okay boomer" was a phrase that started trending, and that started with TikTok. So that would have been the first place you'd see it. And then Twitter was the second place. And then now it's everywhere. But it wasn't me, but somebody did very well with "okay boomer" shirts. And I forget the exact amount they made, but it went trending on TikTok first, and they did very well with that. But even if you don't do something that's trending like that, anything at all, you're putting it in front of literally billions of people, or at least millions. So if there's anyone in the world that likes that topic, it's likely that you're going to sell it. So you basically just have to look and see what the competition is, how many people have the same idea as you, and just see, like, is there any room here? But anything from cooking to hunting to any hobby, any holiday, anything for teachers. It's just like FBA, where there's so many different products that sell on Amazon. There's so many different t-shirts that sell on Amazon.
Got a question. So
Yeah.
what about copyright and trademarks? It's like this, it's like some things you can't put on the shirt and they'll get rejected.
Yes. So that's my meeting tomorrow with the USPTO. So trademarks are supposed to be for a brand, like you're supposed to trademark things that have to do with your brand. But a lot of people trademark just regular words or regular phrases because they want to be the only one that can make a t-shirt that says, I love dogs, or whatever it is, like whatever phrase, okay, boomer, or something like that. They want to be the only one who can do that. So there's a lot of people trademarking very simple words and phrases. So we are working with the USPTO to try to figure out a way for it to be like how it's intended, where it's supposed to be just for brands and not just for people to be able to trademark any word or phrase they want to. Sort of still in process. Right now, you have to check, it's called TESS, but it's basically the list of all the trademarked words, and you check for class 25. That's what t-shirts are. And you just see if that phrase that you want to put on the shirt is trademarked.
Where was it you checked again?
It's called, if you just type in TESS, it should pull it up. But you could also type in United States, let's see, it's USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Did you initiate this meeting with the USPTO, or did they making you come?
No, they have meetings every quarter, but we've just been contacting them and trying to work it out. So I'm just going there tomorrow to sort of be a representative of the print-on-demand industry and talk to them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Helen. Paul Applewing. We met at Ecom Chicago.
Yes. How are you?
With my eBay garb on here. If you were, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you at Ecom, because I'm sure other people here have had the same situation. I had a merch account and I didn't do anything with it, and it got suspended or ended, and I can't get it back. Is there any way? I know there's other platforms. Is there any way to get my merch account reinitiated? Do you know of any way of doing that?
If it's really suspended, then no, there's no way. Some people, it just was like closed for inactivity.
It was closed. I'm sorry, it was closed. It was closed.
Yeah. How do you know you can't get it back? Have you tried?
I've tried, and it says.
And they said no?
Message, yeah, I forget what it says. It's been a while.
Okay. Sometimes if you message them, they will open it if it's due to inactivity. But if they told you no, then I don't think there is a way to get it back. If there's somebody else in your family, like your whoever, somebody else that could open an account, you could kind of help them with theirs. But other than that, it'd be, there's so many other platforms. Like you really could do Redbubble. You could do Seller Central. If you do Seller Central, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could either print your own shirts with either a local printer or ordering from China or wherever and print shirts yourself and ship it to FBA just like you'd ship anything else. Or you could connect your Seller Central account to Printful or Printify. There's a couple different companies. And Printful can integrate with your Seller Central account, and they can fulfill orders that you get through Seller Central.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So I think print on demand is the kind of thing you can just try, just put up a shirt or two. You could either buy one or you could just, make one or have one of your kids help make one and then just have it grow slowly in the background. Because at some point in time, you either might get tired of FBA or you might get injured or something might happen. And it's nice to have like something else going in the background. So it's the kind of thing you can just build slowly over time.
If your designs don't sell, do they get taken down?
They used to get taken down after 3 months if they didn't sell. Then it went to 6 months, and now it's a full year. So you have a full year to have it sell. And if it doesn't sell within a year, it's up to you. If you want to try again, you can re-upload it. Most of the time, if it hasn't sold in a year, you just move on and put up a different one. But there's no rule that says you can't upload it again.
Ellen, 2 questions if I might.
Yeah.
Since you've done FBA before, so you're familiar with Amazon, but in your opinion, someone who is just getting into the Amazon game, should they begin with merch or should they do some sort of arbitrage FBA thing that helps them learn about? What would you recommend to somebody who just wants to start doing something online?
I think both are pretty low barriers to entry and pretty easy for beginners. Something like private label is a little step above because you just have to have a little bit more capital. But with FBA, eBay, and merch, they're all very low capital and low risk. So all 3 are pretty good to start with. Some people, they just don't have a lot of money. So they can only source inventory 1 or 2 days, and then they have to wait 2 weeks for their FBA payment. So they might have a week or 2 where they can't really do much. So during those times, you can just upload a shirt or 2. But merch is the same thing. You can't really grow that fast unless your shirts are very good, because if your shirts are very good, you'll sell a lot quickly. But a lot of people, it takes a while when they first upload 10 shirts to then go to 25 and then go to 100. So your first year on merch, most people don't make a lot of money. It usually takes until their 2nd or 3rd year before they make a lot of money. So it's really good to have your first year, you be doing something else. So FBA or eBay is ideal. You can do FBA and eBay, 75% of the time, and then just do merch 25% of the time, just whenever you want to, whenever you have those days where you are in between when you spent your money on inventory and when you get your paycheck, you can spend those couple days to build up your merch account. And if you can kind of do both at the same time for a while, I tend to like to focus. So it's hard for me to focus on more than one thing at once. But I just would do merch once or twice a month. That's it for the first couple years. That's all I did. And then now I'm primarily just focusing on merch. But I didn't the first couple years. It was literally once or twice a month. And that was enough to kind of get through those lower tiers until the point where now I can upload as much inventory as I want, pretty much.
So great, that was a great answer. Second question then, since you're going into your 4th year, what's the difference between somebody who succeeds with merch and someone who doesn't?
I would say it's very similar to who succeeds on FBA and who succeeds on eBay. First of all, success is everyone's answer is totally different. Some people, they might be a stay-at-home mom and they're not the primary income person anyway. So it's more just to make a little bit of money, pay a couple bills. But I would say most of the time it's just whoever just keeps going and keeps trying. FBA, you're going to run into some problem at some point in time. You're going to buy something that tanks or whatever you want to call it, goes down in value, didn't work out how you thought it was going to work out. And some people quit when that happens. Some people just, sell it at a loss and move on and buy something else and just keep going. So it just depends on how you are as a person, how willing you are to keep trying. Because there'll definitely be times you upload a shirt that you think is so perfect and nobody buys it. And then other times you upload something quickly, just sort of like, whatever, I'll just try it. And it sells really well. So you're definitely going to have disappointments for sure. But you're also going to have successes. And you're also going to have trends that hit. And sometimes it's hard when a trend hits because you get used to it. And you're like, I'm making all this money. And then it goes away. And you're like, not making so much anymore. So it's a up and down roller coaster kind of thing. But if you're used to that with FBA and eBay, then if you just go in with the right attitude that this is just something that you're going to slowly build over time, you'll be happy, that you took the time and you did that, because it takes a while to build up FBA and eBay also, but it's one of those things you have to continually keep up with. With merch, it takes a while to build up, and then you just start hitting this threshold where even if you don't do anything, you're still making money every month.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So my first meetup here, so I'm interested in all things Amazon. And I want to know if the t-shirts that get printed on, can they be multiple colors? Like maybe the trim is a certain color and the body is a different color, the sleeves are a certain color and the body is a different color?
I might need it repeated. I think I heard that you were asking if there's different colors for the t-shirts.
Yes, and if there's different color combinations on the shirts. Like blue sleeves and a gray bottom, something like that.
Different color combinations on the shirt.
So there's just regular t-shirt colors that Amazon offers, and it depends on what product. So on a regular standard t-shirt, I think there's 15 colors. I might have to double check that, but there's somewhere around that many different colors. And then your file that you upload can also have colors on it. So you fill a 4,500 by 5,400 rectangle, and that rectangle can go on a t-shirt, it can go on a hoodie, it can go on all the different products. So your little design goes on different kinds of products, and your design can be any color you want, any color at all. Like the printer can print out any hue or shade or anything, and then it'll go on the products. The products that sell the best are black and like heather gray. So you want to make sure that your design looks good on that. And then you could pick other colors too, but usually black is the best. Sometimes people will make designs that look good on white too. So it could depend, but ideally, especially in the beginning, you want to make sure your design looks best on black.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Melody. Where do you get your artwork done, or do you do it yourself, or can you elaborate on that for me?
Could somebody repeat it? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Where do you get the artwork from? Do you create it yourself?
You ideally you would create it yourself because that's the cheapest way to do it. But if you either don't want to or feel like you can't, because for me, I felt like I couldn't. Everyone can. It's actually really not that hard. Even just like a regular word, you could just put a couple words on a shirt and that could sell. So you don't even have to draw anything or do anything. Like just regular words will sell on shirts. But I totally understand if you're like, I don't know how, like, cause that's how I was like, I don't have the slightest clue how to design. So I just bought designs. So there's lots of artists and there's, we could help you and Merge Money point you to people that sell designs and you could try it that way first. But there's tons and tons of tutorials on how to create t-shirts and we could show you those too. Basically, if you just type in anything like merch tutorial into YouTube, you'll find all kinds of help with how to create a design.
So I've got another question. So on the other products other than t-shirts, have you heard anything about Amazon expanding that into more and more items that they'll print things on?
Yes, I mean they don't really tell us. There's a few people that test things out early. I usually get it kind of early, but I'm not usually the very first one that gets it. So I don't really know for sure, but I just know from the past, kind of like that timeline that I showed you, they do add new products every year. So I don't see them ending that anytime soon, but I don't know for sure. It'd be up to them. But so far, there's no reason for them to stop adding new products and new platforms. They keep expanding in all the other areas, and places like Zazzle or Redbubble, they have hundreds and hundreds of different products. The reason Amazon doesn't is because anytime they add a new product, it gets seen by like literally millions of people. So they have to make sure they have a provider that can handle that kind of production. So it's kind of hard to find printing partners or people that can, they have to have that many blank t-shirts or that many blank hoodies to be able to handle. Like as soon as they offer a new product, it's like turning on a switch and there's all these people like myself that create designs, and it's just, it goes from nothing to like hundreds of thousands of products they have to be able to fulfill. So they know how much it takes. So they're kind of going at the right pace where it's just like a couple new products a year.
Thanks.
I have one more question. What are some of your failures in working with merch?
Some of the carriers, is that what you said?
Failures.
Failures.
Oh, my failures. Oh gosh, so many.
You're on the spot.
No, it's fine. I've had failures in every single one, like merge. Actually, the whole way I got into print on demand, into e-commerce was failures. So I was doing actually really well in my job, which is so funny. It's like, why would I switch jobs if that was the one thing going well? But I was a loan officer, and I became a loan officer during the housing crisis. So you would think that it was terrible, but I caught refinances at the beginning, and there was many years where the rates were going down every single year and people kept refinancing. So I did very, very well. But at the same time, I was going through infertility, and it was just like, I was severe depression, and basically just destroyed my marriage, and just everything was falling apart. So I ended up getting separated, and I didn't want to be in the same city as my husband because I didn't want to see him get remarried and have a family and all this stuff. So I just quit my job and moved to Florida. So I live in Virginia. I moved to Florida. So I quit the one thing that was going well, which was work, and I decided to just move. So I moved to Florida, got a job down there. But I was just listening to YouTube and listening to all these things about, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad during that time. And then I was like, oh, I need to start a business. So I started learning about Amazon. My very first shipment to Amazon was the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. I literally did an entire shipment for one paperback book. So don't do that. And that's, if anybody does books, you know that book is a penny book. Like, it makes no money. So I definitely lost money on my very first shipment, the whole shipment. So that was how I got into FBA. Then I just kept learning, kept shipping stuff into them, made tons of mistakes on what products to pick. And I also just made a mistake of how much effort you need to do. Like, I was used to doing mortgages where you make like a lot of money per house. So, you know, I was used to making thousands of dollars off one transaction. And then I went from that to shipping in individual products where you only make a couple dollars per product. So the difference in income was like so extreme. And it took me a while to figure out like how much I really needed to ship in to make enough. And I never really got to where I was making anywhere near what I had been making before the whole time I was doing FBA. So for quite a few years, I made a lot less than I was used to. But I still wanted to do it just because it was so enthralling. Like, I really needed something to concentrate on because I was going through so much else just in my life that I couldn't do something that was easy. And for me, doing loans was easy. So I needed to do something that was hard. So for me, FBA was hard to try to learn how to make enough doing that. And it was exciting. Like, I just kept meeting new people and it was just a whole nother way of thinking. When you're surrounded by entrepreneurs, it's so different than when you're working at a job, you know, when everybody's just getting a paycheck. So I just liked it more and more the more people I met. And then with merch, it was same kind of thing where it's just a slow build. And I felt like I kept missing all the trends. So one of the trends was the eclipse. Tons of people did really, really well. There was just literally an eclipse. And for some reason, everybody wanted to buy shirts for the eclipse. So that was a trend I completely missed. Didn't put a single shirt up. People are still to this day selling shirts from that eclipse. And I just missed the whole thing. And I also missed a lot of other trends like that along the way. But I just felt like even if you mess up, you don't really mess up. Like, you keep learning every single day, and every single day you get better and you meet more people. And it's just a growth thing. Like, I don't know. It's the most amazing thing ever if you can really be an entrepreneur for a long time, because you learn so much.
It seems like with merch, you don't have much of a downside when you fail. You put something out there on a design, it didn't cost you anything but your time. You don't have inventory, all this other cost.
Yeah, there really is no downside. I mean, I shouldn't say no downside because I'm sure there is one, but I can't think of it.
I have another question on another subject, if anybody else has one to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned about selling like in Germany and Europe. Have you started doing that? Are your designs selling well over there, or do you have to translate? You know, how does our humor, say, translate over there?
I think I heard you. Sorry, it's hard. I can't hear the questions, but I think you said, am I selling in Europe? Is that what you said? Okay. So it's UK and Germany. Those are the only places right now. So UK is still English. It is enough difference that there are different keywords and things, like they use different words for some of our words. So sometimes it probably doesn't sell as well because I'm probably not using all the correct words, but it does sell. And then Germany, they recommend that you translate it to German, but a lot of people have started to realize that it actually seems like it sells better if you just leave it in English. So I'm kind of testing both. Some of mine are in German. I think Google Translate doesn't work very well for Germany. Just the structure of the German language doesn't quite work real well with Google Translate. So there is another translator tool called DeepL, DEEPL, and that one translates better. So that one tends to work a little better. So again, we're still learning on what works best in Europe, and Europe is also just not quite as enthralled with Amazon as we are in the US. Like, it hasn't caught on quite as well there. People still buy on Amazon. It's just not to the level of crazy Americans where we're like buying from Amazon every single day. So I feel like it's going to catch on more and more over time in Europe because it's just so convenient. Like, I think more and more people are just, they're going to want to just have something arrive at their door instead of having to walk to the shop down the street or whatever. So I think there's a lot of growth opportunity in Europe, and I think the rest of the world as well. So merch is not anywhere else yet, but I feel like in the next couple of years it probably will.
I have one more question. As a newcomer, what are the steps that I should take to get started, and how long should I have the patience to test it out?
I would just recommend every single person, whether you think you're going to do it or not, just apply on merch. So go to Merch by Amazon and just say, like, I don't know what it says, like request invitation or apply or whatever it says, because it can take a couple weeks, and sometimes they don't approve people for no reason. Like, we can't figure out what their reasoning is. Some people get in and some people don't. If for some reason you're one of the people who don't get in, just apply again with another email or just try again. Some people get in like their second, third time they're trying. But I would just recommend just apply, whether you're going to use it or not, just in case that you have the account. And then the second thing I would do is join a Facebook group about it. So you could join ours, you could join, there's a lot of ones. Chris Green has one, Merch by Amazon. Just join one of the Facebook groups just so you can kind of hear it and kind of learn just over time. And then you might hear something where you're like, oh, I want to try that. That doesn't sound too hard. And then just try it. But I would just do those two things. Just apply and join a Facebook group. And then from there, just see how you feel. If you have a day where you're not too busy, just sit down and see if maybe you can do it. Try something super easy. Just put like literally one word on a shirt and upload it and just see what happens. Pick something super easy so that you realize, like, okay, you can kind of go through the process. Just like I did for the Amazon shipment. I didn't worry about, like, am I picking the best product? Am I loading the box perfectly? I just was like, okay, let me just ship a book. Let me just learn how to do this shipment process. Because once you do it and go through the process, then it's not so scary or so hard. So even though I didn't make any money on my first shipment, I still learned it right away. So as soon as I wanted to try it, I just tried it, learned it. And then I'm like, okay, it's not too hard to do a shipment. And then I could go from there. So same with a shirt, like just put one up, just put your own name on a shirt, whatever you want, just put it up, just so you can learn the process.
And when I joined, it seemed like it took like 3 months before I even heard back from them.
Exactly.
Are you still experiencing, your people you talk with, that it takes a long time to hear?
It kind of goes in flows. I think right now it's only a couple weeks, but that's why I say just apply, because even if you think you don't want to, you might at some point be like, wait, I should have said yes. Like, there's this trending thing I want to put up. So I would just apply. It could take a couple of weeks. There was a time period where it took almost a year. at one point in time, but now I haven't heard that for quite a while. I think most people hear within a couple weeks.
You said black and gray were the most common t-shirt colors. So when you upload a design, and somebody wants a white t-shirt, but you designed your color in white so it would stand out on a black t-shirt, do you have to upload a different design for a white color t-shirt versus a black color t-shirt, even if it's the same pattern?
Yes. And white t-shirts, you would think they'd be just as common as black, but for some reason they're not. For some reason, I thought white t-shirts would be more popular than black. I don't know why I thought that, but it's definitely way, way more black t-shirts sell than white t-shirts. So most of the time, what we do is just put it on black, and then whatever other colors look good. So a lot of times navy blue or something like that will look good with your design if it looks good on black. And then if that shirt starts selling well, then you take that same design and you change the color to white and upload it again. Or not white, sorry, change it to black so that it looks good on white. But initially, just put it on, make sure the design looks good on a black shirt until you start having a lot of extra slots available, because black shirts sell way better. And again, you can do whatever you want. So you don't have to follow that advice. You could put it on a white shirt. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want with your account. But in general, most people feel like black shirts sell the best.
Do you have to worry about other people taking your design and using it on another platform?
That is a problem, yes. All the platforms are experiencing that problem. It's something that is still it's sort of an unsolved problem right now. It's something that hopefully we'll get better and better at. If someone does copy your design, there's forms you can fill out to argue it. So every platform has a way for you to let them know that someone stole your design. So you can do that. Usually, if you're the first one who sold it, the copycat person is going to have a harder time selling it than you because yours was sold first and it's the first one uploaded. So Amazon's algorithm will show your shirt more than their shirt, but it is a problem. It is something that is ongoing.
How many designs do you have up on merch right now?
Right now I have 8,290 something, like almost 9. Well, I don't know. Somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000.
Now, how do you keep track of all of that?
There's tools that can help you. I mean, you can just leave your shirts right on merch. It's pretty easy to sort through what designs you have right on the platform. I use a tool called Merch Wizard that is sort of like a database. So it's a way to save your designs off of Amazon in case you ever need to. I like to have a database in addition to Amazon just in case, because you never know with a platform if they decide to close your account or they decide they don't want you for some reason, even if it's a mistake. I just want to make sure I have my design somewhere else just in case. So.
Is it true that if you put the design up that Amazon owns the design?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
If you upload your design, does Amazon own it or do you own it?
You own it. You own it. That's why you get a royalty. You're the owner of it. And Amazon will allow you to put it other places. So they don't have an ownership of it.
I know you were focusing on merch by Amazon, but maybe you could speak about some of the other platforms, how they compare. Are they just as easy, just as hard? Do you see better sales? Do you see better royalty payments? I mean, just in general, maybe give us an idea.
Yeah. And it also depends on the person. So some people are natural marketers, like they love marketing. And if you're a marketer, then you don't have to pretty much listen to anything I said and do it just based on your own marketing skills. So if you love marketing, merch is a hard platform because merch does not give you a lot of data. So it's hard to tell if you're getting impressions or like, if someone doesn't buy the shirt, it's hard to see if it's because it's not being shown by Amazon's algorithm, or is it just that people don't like it. If you're used to being able to see a lot of data and you understand keywords and algorithms and all this stuff, then those kind of people struggle on merch because it's frustrating, because merch does not give you enough data. So if you like marketing, you know how to do keywords, you know how to do different things to boost your shirt, and you like doing ads and stuff like that, Etsy is a much better platform. Or Shopify, you can just completely have your own website. But Etsy is a really great platform because you do get some organic traffic because people go to Etsy to shop. So you will get people that just stumble upon your shirt and buy it, but you'll also get more data on what's happening with your shirt, who's clicking on it, who's favoriting it, things like that. And so you'll have a little bit more control over how you show your product. So you can show your shirt on a mock-up, like you can show a person wearing it, or you could show it like a flat lay design. So you have a little bit more control over how your product appears. On merch, you don't have any control over that. It just shows up how the same for all merch shirts. They just show like the shirt on a white background. So you don't really have control over how your product's displayed, and you don't really see a lot of data. So for me, I just like having organic traffic, and I'm not really a marketer background. So I'm learning now over time how to do marketing and how to analyze all the data and how to pick exactly the right keywords and all that. But for me, it was easier starting on merch because I didn't even really know how to analyze all the data. So I just wanted customers to be there and just buy my shirt. So that was easier for me. But if you're the type of person who needs a lot of data, then merch is actually not the best place for you. And Etsy or Shopify would be better. And then there's other ones like Redbubble. Let me back up. So Etsy is not royalty based. Etsy, you are the seller, and it's up to you to fulfill the product. And same with Seller Central. If you sell your shirts on Amazon Seller Central, you're the seller, and it's not a royalty payment. You get paid the full amount, and then you distribute it to whoever's printing. So Printful would print the shirt for you. You pay them, they print the shirt, and then that's how it works. So you get the full sales price. It's not a royalty. With merch, it's a royalty. So Amazon gets the full sales price, and then they give you a percentage of it as a royalty. So it's a little bit different payment methods if you sell it on your own website, or if you sell it on Etsy or Seller Central. Those are all slightly different because it's not royalty. Royalty ones are merch, Redbubble, Teespring. Most of those platforms I showed, those were all royalty based, which means you don't have to deal with any of it except for uploading the design. So to me, that's easier. I like that best. But as you grow as a business owner, you might not like that best because, oh gosh, this gives it away that this is my slide from Ecom Chicago. Busted. So as you grow as a business owner, sometimes you want to take on more of the responsibility because then you have more control over the whole process. So you might want to fulfill the shirts because then you can add a personal touch to it. You can add your own packaging. You can start building your own brand. So over time, you might not want all the royalty stuff. Might want to take on more of it yourself and handle more parts of the process yourself. So it just depends on where you are, what your goals are. But anything you want to do, there's a way to do it. You can build your own brand. You can build your own website. You can do your own marketing. You can also combine. So if you decide if you have a private label product right now, or if you want to have a private label product, Printful fulfills private label products and print-on-demand products. So they have warehouses where they can store your products, and they can ship out print-on-demand products or regular products. So it's really nice because you can test out a product pretty cheaply because you just uploaded a design and see if it sells. If it does sell, you can order in bulk from China or wherever, store it at Printful, and they can just ship it out along with any print-on-demand product.
So then where are you promoting your your products. I mean, it's like you have to somehow do something to get people on organic traffic. Are you doing Facebook or?
I'm not doing anything because I'm still mostly focused on merch. So on merch, you don't have to do anything. Customers come to Amazon. It's just like with FBA, you don't have to do anything to sell your products. They're already selling on Amazon. So you just have to get it to Amazon, and then Amazon kind of sells it for you. Same thing with merch. Like you just get your shirt up there and people will buy it. So that's the easiest, in my opinion, to start, because you don't need a Facebook group. You don't need any knowledge of marketing at all. You don't need to do any advertising at all. It's just completely royalty based. Merch handles all of it. Some people want to start to build a brand and a company and all of that. So they want to do the advertising. They want to have their own customers. They want to build an email list. I do think that's good as you go along. I'm kind of doing that with Merch Money. Like we have our own email list and things going on with Merch Money, but I haven't really done it for my print on demand products. And so far I haven't needed to.
So do you know if merch allows you to put like a domain name on your shirt if you're signed to brand? Or you have to do like they do on FBA, where you have to have your brand registered?
You can't customize the shirt at all on merch. So you can't handle any of the shipping or packaging or like the name tag on the shirt. You just have the front of the shirt. You actually have a spot on the back if you want to. So, I mean, if you wanted to put your website on a shirt, you could, but you can't in any way customize it or build a brand. It's not really ideal for building a brand. If your goal is to build a brand, then you would want to build a Facebook page, build your own website, do more like with fulfilling the product yourself, or maybe using Printful or something like that. Merch, it's much more just for beginners who just want to sell shirts. I think building the brand would be a little bit more like extra if you wanted to.
Okay. Great. So what else can you tell us? Where are the pitfalls that we should try to avoid?
There's not really pitfalls. I mean, the main thing is just check to make sure there's no trademarks. Try not to copy, like some people think it's parody if you copy like Star Wars or something like that. And parody is a real thing. Like there is such a thing as parody where you would be allowed to do it, but it's just very tricky to try to do that on merch because you have to rely on Amazon to agree with you that it's parody. And if they don't agree with you and take down your shirt, it can kind of damage your account. So I stay away from parody in general, and I stay away from name brands and things like that. Like I just do shirts based on, hobbies and things that people like. I don't base it on Disney characters or Star Wars or anything like that. But thank you guys so much for having me today. And again, I'm so sorry that I'm not there in person, but I really appreciate getting to meet all of you guys. And I think it's so great. Just keep going to these monthly meetings because there's nothing better than that, of talking to real people in person, getting to know people. If it's your first time there and you're shy, just congratulations for making the step of going, and know that it's the best thing you could do to talk to everybody and get to know everybody.
And we are a friendly group.
And everybody was a beginner at some point. So no question is stupid. And just be so proud of yourself, because most people never make it to that step of like actually going to an event or actually trying a business like this. Most people just say, oh, that's a cool idea. And then they just go back to their regular jobs. So I congratulate all of you for taking that step.
Thank you very much, Helen. And we're so here.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a good rest of your meeting.
Okay,
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Bye.